Hello there, Liverpool fans, back again with another video to talk about the unbelievable Tottenham match and the last minute winner that we had. I mean, bloody hell, did we leave it late or what? And seeing that it was an own goal, it should have been. If I'm totally honest, it should have ended up in a draw because the second half we didn't play well at all. We've got to admit this as the Liverpool fan base. We have to admit that the second half. Because prior to the match, I said on Twitter to people that I speak with, other Liverpool fans, that if Klopp again plays Henderson, Wijnaldum, and Milner, we're going to get found out. We're going to get overrun in the midfield area, and that's exactly what happened. Because for me, I mean, I don't know what it is, what his thinking is behind playing these players constantly, and he keeps doing it in the big matches. He did it earlier in the season, I think in the Champions League against Napoli away from home, and we lost the game. He also did it against Paris Saint-Germain in the first half. We got totally annihilated. We were 2-0 down, and we got a fortunate penalty in the 45th minute to make the score, respectable, because the first half we were not even in the game. It was so one-sided to Paris Saint-Germain. It was unbelievable because of the midfield area, because of the midfield selection that he made for the match, and for some unknown reason, I don't know what he sees in training, what he thinks before the match, what kind of plan he makes for that certain match. He keeps playing the same midfield man, and he keeps causing us all these problems. He just makes it harder than it should be, the game, when really he's got the players there on the bench. He's got Fabinho, he's got Shaqiri, and he's got Keita. Three, energetic, quality midfielders, both defensively and going forwards. So, I mean, it's one thing having respect for Henderson, for Milner, for Wijnaldum, but having respect doesn't mean that you need to play them all the time, man. Especially in the big games. You need to be more clever as a manager, Jurgen Klopp, You need to be more clever, you need to be more savvy. You need to be more tactically aware of what's going to happen in the match, how they're going to perform against certain players who they're coming up against on the pitch. And yet again, he plays the same midfield, and you could tell the second half started. Liverpool were 1-0 up in the first half. We deserved to take the lead, and we should have gone on to get a second and probably kill the game off in the first half. And the longer it stayed at 1-0, we always knew that Tottenham would have a spell in the game where they were on top. They're playing better than us. And it coincided probably 10 minutes into the second half where they totally took over the match. And you could just see Liverpool, retreating back into our own penalty area, not even attempting to go forward anymore. And slowly, they wore us down, Tottenham. Bit by bit, step by step, they wore us down and they got the goal. And as soon as the goal goes in and it's 1-1, you're thinking, we're in trouble here. If we're not careful, we're going to lose this game, I'm serious. I mean, most Liverpool fans probably feel the same. You could just see it happening on the pitch. We were retreating. We were not able to make any passes. We were not able to make any forward movements into their penalty area. And every ball that they had, they were using it properly. They were attacking us, basically pushing us back, and really starting to put the pressure on. And out of nowhere, that outstanding, not outstanding, but unbelievable cross from who was it? Was it Trent or Robertson? I think Trent, wasn't it? Yeah, lofted into the penalty area, and you just see at the corner of your eye, you just see Mohamed Salah running into the penalty area to get his head on the ball, and unbelievably, he heads it towards goal, and Lloris just spills the header for some reason, probably lack of concentration. In the 90th minute, he didn't expect this kind of thing to happen, and he just drops it at the feet of Alderweireld, the defender, who, not knowing what to do with the ball, tries to clear it, and in trying to clear it, he puts it into his own net, and it trickles over the line. And it's absolutely pandemonium. It's delirium at Anfield. The fans are going mad. Everyone on Twitter writing messages here and there. Facebook. It's just madness throughout the world. Liverpool fan base is going mad, mental. And we take the 3 points and go to the top of the league. But We have to be honest. We didn't play our best football in the second half, and the match against Southampton on Friday is going to be much tougher for Liverpool, especially the fact that it's away from home. We have to go to St Mary's, which is never easy. Even when Southampton are down in the relegation places, near to the drop zone, the relegation zone, I think they're only 5 points above. So now it's going to be very tough to get a result there. We have to be on our game. We have to play the right midfield combination this time, Klopp. Please, for the love of God, you've seen it now. You've seen it many times during the season, and yet you still persist with this midfield, man. It's just absolutely madness. I mean, do you want Liverpool to win the Premier League or what? If you want Liverpool to win the Premier League, you have to play your best players. You have to play your best midfield combination trio on the pitch, which is Fabinho, in my opinion, Shaqiri, and then probably either Wijnaldum or Milner. Do not put Henderson into the team again, man, please. For the love of God. Henderson looked lost. He was gone. In the second half, he was nowhere to be seen. Wijnaldum had a bad game as well, but Henderson is the main culprit. The man is supposed to be the captain of our club. He can't even perform well himself. How is he supposed to inspire other players on the pitch? Henderson. Please, man. It's just madness, It really is. I don't know what Klopp has he got some kind of a secret contract with Henderson? That he's got some kind of agreement that he has to play in all the major games. It's ridiculous, man. You can't do it, We've only got 6 games to go, Klopp, man. 6 games. We need to win all of them. Because, Man City, the bastards, they won't go away. They keep winning. And we keep winning as well. But there's a difference in the way the two teams are winning games. We need to be more clinical. We need to play our best 11 so that we can get over the line easier. We can win the game, man. Because if we keep struggling like we did on Sunday, it's not going to happen, unfortunately. I'm a Liverpool fan for 31 years, but I speak the truth. I don't gloss over the problems or the shortcomings. You have to speak the truth as fans. You have to be objective. You have to just basically admit what's happening on the pitch. And from what I've seen in the past 2 or 3 games, yes, we've won the games. We've picked up the 3 points, but we haven't played very well, have we? We haven't played very well, especially in the second half against Fulham and against Tottenham. We didn't play to our top level. We should be playing much better. The passing has to be better. The forward movement has to be better. The game management, keeping the ball, has to be better from Liverpool. We have to do what City are doing, which is wearing the opposition down, passing them to death, basically. And eventually you will win the game. You have the better quality. You have the better players in the team. So you should go on to win the game, but you have to know how to execute it on the pitch, how to perform on the pitch. And for me, Liverpool, at the moment, we're winning games. The adrenaline is there, the passion, the desire is there, everything is there, but the performance is not there at the moment. So going to Southampton is going to be a very tough game for us. We need to be very serious. We need to be very careful from the first minute, basically. And go out there with the mindset to win the game in the first half. Don't leave it till the second half. Do not leave it till the second half. I'm telling you, they're gonna be right up for it. It's a night game as well, and a late kickoff, 8 p.m. It's probably going to be a packed stadium at St Mary's, and yeah, I mean they don't really have anything to lose because I think they're 5 or 6 points above the relegation zone with 6 games or so to go. So they're not that worried really. Relegation terms, they still need to pick up a couple of victories, but they can do that in the other games after Liverpool, so we have to win the game. If we want to win the Premier League title, a win is a must for us, not even a draw. We can't afford to draw. I've seen some videos on YouTube and social media, people analysing the game, the Redmen TV, Anfield Wrap and this and that. I think a couple of them said that even a draw wouldn't be a bad result. Come on, man. What are you talking about? City are in front of us. We've played the game more than them. If you draw the game, having played the game more, then next time they come out and play, they win, they go 3 points above you. So with 5 games to go and a 3-point gap, it's going to be very difficult to overturn. This is football. Anything can happen. City could end up losing to Crystal Palace. They could end up losing to Man United or to Tottenham, or they could end up winning all 3 of the games. We don't know. Hopefully they don't. I'm praying to God that they don't. But you wouldn't put it past them, would you? Because they feel that they can take the title now from Liverpool. We feel that we can beat them to the title, but they also feel that they can beat us because they know that every time that they win, they go above us. So it's all in Liverpool's hands, really. We just have to keep applying the pressure because this weekend, I think they play in the FA Cup semi-final, so they're not playing any league games until the 14th, I think it is, of April. On the same day that we play Chelsea, they they go to London to play Crystal Palace, which will be a tough game for them. You know, Palace don't concede many goals. Defensively, they're pretty sound, but going forwards, they're not very good. They're not very clinical going forward, Palace, but defensively, they're very solid. You know, they don't concede a lot of goals. So, Liverpool, we have to be serious. This is the crunch time of the season. This is where it matters the most. You know, if we win now and we stay at the top, I feel that we're going to do it. I feel that we've got enough to do it to get over the line to win the league title. You know, and you know, God help us. We need all the help we can get because, um, as I said before, I don't think the performance levels are very good from Liverpool at the moment. You know, the last I'd say since the Fulham game, even the Burnley game, where we had some lapses in the game and it ended up 4-2. We could have won that game much easier than we did. You know, and the Fulham game we made it tough for ourselves. We should have walloped Fulham because look, they conceded 4 against Watford away from home, you know, and they got relegated. So this team was there for the taking. We could have easily scored 3 or 4 and got our goal difference up, you know, made the goal difference better as well. But we struggled to get over the line and we won it with a penalty, you know, in the 85th minute. And it's not always going to be like that for Liverpool. If you don't take your chances, if you're not clinical, you're not serious about the game from the first minute, then you can come unstuck against any opposition. Because as I said before, Liverpool want to win the title now, but so does Manchester City, and the other teams in the league want to stop us. You know, they want to put a halt to our charge to the title. They're all up for it. The other opponents. Uh, yeah. So apart from Huddersfield, I think we play Huddersfield 3 games before the end of the season. So apart from that game, the other games are going to be tough for Liverpool. You know, playing against the likes of Cardiff away, Newcastle away, Wolverhampton Wanderers at home, and we also have to play Chelsea. Chelsea is going to be the main game. If we can beat Chelsea, then I give Liverpool an 85% chance of winning the league. I really do, because Chelsea in the past have always made it very tough for us, especially at Anfield, you know, and they've always come there to try and spoil the party, which they did in the 13-14 season. You know, the infamous Stevie G moment where he slips and he gives the ball to Demba Ba and he puts it away, and we end up losing that game because all Rodgers had to do in that game was play a defensive game, a defensive tactic, frustrate Chelsea and then try and hit them on the break. And Liverpool would have either won the game or drawn the game, and it would have been enough for us really to go on and win the league, the league title. And you know, we ended up losing the game unexpectedly, and we threw the title away. You know, because the next game we had that disaster against Palace. But even if we'd won the game against Palace, City was still in the driving seat because I think they had something like 2 or 3 games to catch up on us, and they won those games, all of the games that they had left, and they took the title by 2 points. So yeah, this time we have to be sensible, we have to be pragmatic, and we have to take our chances when we do get the opportunity to attack. We have to take the counter attacking options and finish the game off, you know. And I think it is going to be our year. I really do. I'm not just saying it for the sake of it, because we have had an outstanding season, an unbelievable season. Some of the performances have not really been brilliant from Liverpool, but we've won the games. We've shown the desire. We've shown the character right until the last minute of the game. You know, I think we've won. I think we scored the most amount of goals in the final minutes of the game to either get a point or to win the game. So, you know, it shows that we have a never say die attitude to the game, and we always try and score right till the end. You know, try and get something from the game. So for me, Liverpool fans, the Southampton game should be another 3 points. There's no excuses. I mean, we have to go there with the right mentality, the right mindset, and to win the game. You know, go out there, finish it off in the first half, and then second half maybe we can take a couple of players off, get them ready for the Champions League match, which is next week against Porto, and hopefully we can perform and get through to the semi-finals. But my mind is firmly fixed on the Premier League title. I'm not too flustered about the Champions League this year, because for some reason it just doesn't feel important for me this year. I really want to win the league title. It's been 29 years, man. We need to make sure that we win it now, and then we finish this. People making banter of us, taking the piss. Basically, it's for ourselves, for Liverpool Football Club, as a fan base, not for the others. I don't care about the other supporters of other clubs, but it is depressing to keep constantly thinking in the back of your mind that we haven't won the league title. We keep trying to think of reasons why we haven't done it. What has caused us not to win it? And there's a lot of things that have happened in the 29 years that have stopped us from winning the Premier League. We've had numerous opportunities. We could have won it, let's say 5 or 6 times. We had the opportunities to win the league title, but we just haven't been strong mentally. And we haven't had the quality to get over the line and finish it off. But this team is different. This team that we've got this season is much different from those teams, and I think we've got enough this time to do it. We have to achieve it, and beat City, and it'll be an outstanding achievement, because don't forget, last season we finished 25 points behind Manchester City, and to think that Liverpool in 1 year, in one season, have closed the gap so well, and have taken the title off Man City, that will be depressing for City, and it could end up being the beginning of their downfall, City's downfall, and not being able to win the league anymore. Which is probably better for the Premier League, because we don't want a team that is being, bankrolled by Arab illegal money, and basically by a country, a dictatorship that is ploughing money into the club, and they're winning trophies, and they keep saying that they're a big club, they're achieving great things, because they've got a great squad of players, a great manager, but it's all to do with the money, the finances, because we all know where City were 10 years ago, 15 years ago. Even their own fan base, they should be admitting that they were nowhere to be seen. They were nothing 10 years ago, 15 years ago. They weren't even able to get into mid-table in the Premier League, let alone win the title. And we've seen what the money has done for them, what they've achieved. Same with Chelsea. Chelsea were nowhere to be seen for 50 years, 60 years. And when Abramovich, bought the club, the Russian billionaire, and they started to win everything. They started to win Premier League titles, European trophies, FA Cups, and everything. So maybe that's the way modern football is going. But I still want football to have the values, traditional values of teams actually striving hard to win the league. Teams building themselves up slowly over a certain amount of years, and then they can see, their success coming to fruition, them starting to win trophies. I don't want it to be all about the money, because if that's the case, then football is just going to be like it's not even going to be enjoyable anymore for the modern fan. It's just going to be, the same teams winning everything every season. We don't want to see that, worldwide. We want to see many teams challenging, many teams fighting out for the league title, for the other trophies, the domestic trophies, the FA Cup, League Cup. And even in Europe, we don't want to see like a Real Madrid who keep winning it every year in the Champions League. I'm not just saying that because they beat Liverpool last season. It's been in my mind for many years. In the past it used to be a number of teams challenging in Europe, and a number of different teams winning it every season. But now, the last probably 5 or 10 years, it's been the same teams. It's just Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Bayern Munich, I think. And of course, Liverpool won it in 2005, and we got to another final in 2007, and we lost to AC Milan again, the team that we beat in 2005. This time they beat us in Athens to take the European Cup. And so personally for me, as Ahmet Gosa, I want to see many teams challenging. I want it to be exciting. I want it to be a competition. It's called a competition, a tournament. So there should be competition between the teams. It should be quite even. I don't want it to one team to have so many star players and then the other team to just be like a, an outsider basically, a surprise package. We want it to be on a level playing field and everyone taking part, to the best of their ability and trying to win the tournaments, the cups. So that's about it, Liverpool fans. Not to keep you for too long. I was going to talk about the racism issue as well in football, because it's not really my place, to talk about the racism. But it seems to me that there's too much going on about racism at the moment. Too many, programs, too many campaigns, this and that. It's just making it worse, because in certain countries, for instance, what happened with the Juventus player Kian, Moise Kian, who was getting grief from the Cagliari fans. Now, Italy was a fascist country in the past, the same way that Germany was a fascist country. So the mindset of the people that live there is still pretty similar to what it was probably 60, 70 years ago, because the same thing is happening to Turkish people who live in Germany. Now, they went there in the 50s to work in Germany. They had work opportunities, and they were always seen as second-class citizens. But now, the people worked hard and they earned their money, and now they have become rich. They've started to open businesses. They've started to prosper in Germany, and the hate and the anger towards the Turkish community is still the same as it was before. I don't think I'm not blaming the entire German people, but it's the same. Nothing's changed towards the Turkish community, even in other countries. They try to stick up for certain terrorist groups, the PKK and this and that. But when it comes to Turkish people, they try to pull them down. They try to belittle them. They try to make them feel unwanted. And it's not even a Muslim thing. It's to do with the race. It's to do with them being Turkish, and nothing else really, because of the Ottoman Empire and what the Ottoman Empire did in the past. The amount of countries that it took over, and the amount of peoples that were underneath the Ottoman Empire, being run by the Ottoman Empire. And I think the bitter feelings towards the empire have transferred into the modern day. And we're still being subjected to, hate crimes and this and that. And even the footballers, look what they did to Özil. Look what they did to the other Turkish players. These people were born in that country and they deserve to play for that national team. And yet they're always the scapegoats. As soon as something happens, they're always the first people that are blamed, And if it was me, I wouldn't play for that country. I wouldn't play for them. I'd play for Turkey. If you're a Turkish national and you live in another country, you should always want to play for your national team. It's the same with coloured players, black players. If I'm, of African origin, then you play for your country, man. Why do you want to play for Italy? It just doesn't make any sense. I mean, knowing these countries, knowing the population and how they feel towards you, towards your community, then you should not be playing for them, man. This is what makes racism even worse. It's the same in England, it's the same in other countries in Europe, in France, because you're not seen as part of the country. You're not seen as part of the population. I see myself as a Cockney. I was born and bred in London. I've lived all my life in London. I'm a proper Cockney, from southeast London. But I don't know how other people in England see me. When I speak, my accent or my looks, they probably see me as one of their own, as a Cockney. But of course, I'm Turkish Cypriot as well. My nationality is Turkish Cypriot. My parents. So, but they came to this country many years ago. So. For me, I always see myself as part of this area of London, but racism is just getting out of hand now. The campaigns, the programs, the kick it out things that are going on, this and that. This is just making it worse, man. You're getting people to talk about it on television, for God's sake. The more you put it onto the television, the worse it's going to become. Because we live in a time that everyone seems to be angry. Everyone seems to be agitated, whether it be from the economy, whether it be from political views, from this and that. So sport has just got to be about sport. Stop bringing racism into it, I know that certain players get the grief. They get the barrage of the racism jokes and this and that. racism happening to them on the pitch when they play, but it's just part and parcel of the game. You have to be mentally strong to cope with it. That's just how it is, because you're never going to get rid of it. You can't shut up 50,000 supporters. You can't shut up 60,000 supporters. It's never going to happen anywhere in the world. Whether it be in England or whether it be in Europe or whether it be in Australia, it's not going to happen. And the more that people try to take care of the problem, it's just becoming worse, in my opinion. It's just getting out of hand now, and it's going to end up even worse violence happening in the future, God forbid. So I don't want it to happen. As a football fan, it should just be about football. 90 minutes, whoever plays the best football, the players that perform on the pitch, they deserve to be applauded by everybody. Whether they be black or white, it doesn't matter. Whoever plays the best football, whoever supplies the quality, deserves to win the game, should win the game. It's just a football. It's a game of football. We shouldn't be taking it so seriously. Even myself, I get worked up about football. Liverpool not winning the league, and people keep telling me, "Why are you so upset? You're not even playing on the pitch, man." But it's just ingrained within us. People that have followed the game for many years, like myself, it's just ingrained within us that we follow our team and we want it to be successful. We follow Liverpool Football Club and we want the best for it. And when it doesn't happen every season, we become frustrated. We have some kind of hate towards other teams, towards other players. But it's just for the football. In personal, life, I would never do that to people. I would never, say things to them or never try to bring them down. But in the football, rivalry, it's just part of what it is. But of course, racism is wrong. I don't agree with it at all. But you can't take care of it. That's what I'm trying to say. There's no way that they can kick it out. The kick it out campaign is not working. I don't feel that it helps at all, because I'm not saying for the majority of black people, the black community, but there are some people that try to use racism to get what they want from the authorities, from other people. So football is just it's a sport at the end of the day. We shouldn't politicalize it. We shouldn't try and make it into something else and try and change it for the better. It's not going to happen. With all these campaigns and these documentaries. And we're getting, specialist people to come on television and explain to us and educate us and this and that. People that are educated already know that this is wrong. You can't change the other people. The people that don't want to change, you're not going to change them, even if you talk to them, even if you educate them. People's views, they have stubborn views about certain subjects in the world. And you can't change these people. It's the same in politics. You can try all you like, but people that are, lean towards the left always support the left no matter what. People that lean towards the right always support the right no matter what. So it's the same in football, in my opinion. And the only way to shut these people up is to perform on the pitch. And when you do that, when you perform to the high level, they will applaud you eventually. They will see the quality that you have. They will see what kind of person you are, what kind of character you are, and what you contribute to the game of football as a player, a player in the team. So for me, it's always been about performing to the highest level. We had John Barnes, Liverpool. When John Barnes played the game, there were hardly any coloured players in England playing. There were bits and bobs here and there, but not many that anybody knew about. And John Barnes became the best player in England, for God's sake. So. And he was like a minority. There was hardly any others like him in the game. And the way that he performed, the way that he won over Liverpool fans and the entire football world was unbelievable. He was one of my idols when I was growing up. Barnes and Rush and, Dalglish and all these players, they were idols. John Aldridge, McMahon, all these players, and even Ince. Paul Ince was known to be like a terrier footballer. Nobody liked him. His attitude on the pitch and the way that he ran around, and he thought he was the boss. But I enjoyed Ince when he came to Liverpool, because he gave Liverpool, that stability in the midfield. He gave them the leadership. He gave them the confidence to play football. And he would never, he would always go in for tackles. He would never let the opponent get away from him. He had the hunger, the desire. And I never look at the skin colour of a player. I look at their ability on the pitch, what they can do, how they can perform. But I don't want to sound kind of, as if I'm saying something against the community, but really, in the truth of the matter, black people cannot complain because there is a lot of, if you look at the teams in the Premier League, there are a lot of black players in the teams. Considering the population of the black community in the whole of England, the amount of black players there are playing football in England is probably more than white people, So even in France, in other countries in Europe. So I don't understand sometimes this racism problem because, you hardly ever see any Turkish people playing football in this country when they have a massive population, maybe 1.5, 2 million people of Turkish descent live in this country. And yet if you look at the amount of Turkish people, Turkish youngsters coming through the teams, getting into the teams, it's nowhere near the black community, or even Asians or other minorities in the country. So for me, as a football fan, as I say, it doesn't matter for me who plays for the team. I want to see, look at our players, Liverpool players. Mohamed Salah, Egyptian. Sadio Mane, Senegalese. Van Dijk, Dutch. All the other players. Fabinho, Brazilian. Alisson, Brazilian. There's hardly any Scousers in the team. I would like to see Scousers. Don't get me wrong, because they have the club at heart. The people that are from that city, from that part of the world, play better for Liverpool, perform better, in my opinion. We saw it in the past, Robbie Fowler, Michael Owen, McManaman, all the other players that we had in the team, Scousers, Jamie Carragher, and this and that, So it's just a mix, Football is a mix of people, and we have to learn to get along with each other. People that play the game of football have to learn to get along with each other if we want it to be successful. If not, then in the future it could be segregated. You would have two different leagues, or you'll have two different communities playing in different leagues, and we don't want that to happen because that will destroy football. It'll wreak havoc on the game of football. In my opinion, it's got to be united as one. And as I said, whoever deserves to be in the first 11 should play. Whoever plays the best football should be applauded, should be, given all the honours, given all the success, no matter what colour they are. And that's it, Liverpool fans. Not to keep you too long, we're getting into some kind of problem that will take a long time to solve, basically, and there's no point in going on with it, really. And so my feeling towards the racism issue is that we should keep it low key. Stop complaining about it, stop putting it on television, and stop trying to address it by talking to people, educating people. You can only educate people that want to be educated. The others will not change. So you have to get on with it. You have to play the game and just shut them up on the pitch. When you perform to your best level, to your best quality, then they will stand up and applaud you anyway. When they see that you're such a good player, such a good addition to their team, then they will accept you like they did John Barnes. Because for players like John Barnes or even Cyril Regis in their time, there was hardly any black players playing in England, and look what they did, look what they achieved. So this is inspiration for the other black players. They can do the same. They just have to believe in themselves. They have to have the mental strength. They have to have the courage. They have to believe in their quality on the pitch to go out and perform week in, week out. And hopefully in the future we won't have this kind of thing happening anymore around the world. And so we can only hope and wait and see what happens. That's it, Liverpool fans. For the game tomorrow, the Southampton game, I want to see Liverpool play Alisson in goal, Trent Alexander right back, Virgil van Dijk, Matip in centre-back position, Robertson on the left side, left back, and then in midfield. Midfield is the main area for Liverpool. This is where we win the game. We need to play Fabinho, Klopp. Please, do not be stubborn. Do not be silly again. Do not change the midfield to accommodate Henderson or Milner. Play Fabinho, play Shaqiri, and play either Wijnaldum or Milner, in my opinion. These are the best players that you can pick for the midfield area. Shaqiri deserves it, man. Creativity has really gone down from Liverpool's midfield in the past two months, 1.5, 2 months. So we need that in midfield. And then up front, you've got Mane, Firmino, and Salah. And then, maybe Lallana can get on in the second half if we're winning the game, or, Origi, or, Keita even can come on for a cameo appearance. But don't change your winning team. We're not actually performing to the highest level, but we're winning games. And winning games breeds confidence. It breeds morale in the team. So keep the same players, basically, and go out there and finish Southampton off, hopefully. And we go back to the top of the Premier League. It's very important that we win it, man. Very important that we win the Premier League this year. We won't have a better chance, I'm telling you. Next season it's going to be much tougher. United are going to invest, buy new players. Arsenal are going to have probably new players coming into the team. Tottenham, now that they've got their new stadium, they're going to invest as well, I feel. Chelsea always buy players, City. So Liverpool, it's only going to become harder for Liverpool to achieve things. And we've got a great chance this season. We've only lost one game, man, for the entire season. We have to be champions of this league. A team that has only lost one game has to win it, man. Has to take the title, So that's it, Liverpool fans. Please make your comments in the comment section below. Like and subscribe to the channel. And this is Ahmet out, basically. Thank you for watching my video. And hope for 3 points again. And we go to the top of the Premier League. And hopefully we stay there for the entire season. I can see City dropping points. Maybe against Palace or United, Tottenham. They're bound to drop points somewhere. They've got too many games coming up, on the horizon in the month of April. I don't think they can win all these games. It will be unbelievable achievement if they do. But I don't see it happening. I really don't. They're bound to slip up somewhere, They're bound to lose points somewhere. But we have to make sure that we take advantage. And to take advantage, we need to win all the games from now until the end of the season. And if we can't get through in the Champions League, then I don't really care this year. The Premier League is the priority, and we have to win it, So up the mighty Reds, another 3 points, and we go to the top of the league, man. Come on, you mighty Reds. And I'll talk to you later, people. Bye-bye.